I'm going to be working on updating my kids' chore charts this afternoon. This is what we have now, and I'll let you take a closer look at it later. As you can see, it's really beat up. That's because we use it. This is a job that I didn't realize when I first got married and was taking care of a home and had kids. I just didn't realize how much a home changes and how often you need to update your chore chart. I just thought you make a chart, a plan, a system for your kids, and then you just make it work. But your home is always changing, your kids are always changing, so you always have a child that's able to do a little bit more. And then you have, where we're at right now, we have a child that's kind of bumped out. Our oldest son hasn't been here the past year, and so now that leaves a vacancy and we have to move everybody up. Everything shifts. So I'm taking a look at this today and gonna update it. Welcome to Our Life Homeschooling. I'm Sherry. I'm a mom to 10 kids. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Nelson. We just celebrated 24 years of marriage this week. We have 10 kids. Our oldest is 19. He has been away at college for the year. We really miss him. He's coming home soon. And then we have 9 other kids, ages 16 down to 16 months. On my channel, I like to share homeschooling encouragement every week and just bring you along with whatever we're doing in our home. I also blog over at ourlifehomeschooling.com. On the website, I have tons of posts about life skills, about the curriculum that we use, different resources for copywork, for reading. I have information there about large family life. I have book lists. Just all kinds of great stuff over there. I have my Simple Morning Time notebook, which has been really popular this year. That's just the notebook that I use for morning time, everything that we're learning in one place. I'm currently working on finishing up the Simple Morning Time notebook for 24-25, so be looking for that in the next couple weeks, and you can get a copy for yourself. So if you haven't been over to the blog, I encourage you to head over there and see what you can find that would be helpful for you. We've broken our home up into zones, so just different areas. We have kitchen, living room, schoolroom, which is not actually a schoolroom in that sense. It's just kind of what we called it. An entryway, and different things need more work at different times of the year. So in the winter, our living room actually needs a lot more work because we're constantly doing school in there, and there's pencils that get down in the sofa cushions, and it needs to be vacuumed every day. It gets really messy. But in the summer, our living room, we're not in it that much. We're outside a lot. In the summer, we need more work on keeping our entryway, our front porches, back porch cleaned, which is something that we don't worry about as much in the winter. So it changes seasonally. The way our family does it, we have a person every day that's responsible for the kitchen, the whole kitchen cleanup, and I'm kind of the helper. And if it's a younger person, then I'm kind of doing the work in the kitchen and they're helping me. We also have an animal person for every day. And so in the winter, it's not really a big deal. We just have our laying hens, but right now we are in full animal mode. We have lots of animals on our property for a short period of time in the summer because we're raising them for meat. So we have 4 pigs, we have 75 meat chicks, we have several layer hens, and they all need rotated, moved. They need food and water morning and night. So it's just a lot of care. So that animal person it's a really important job, especially in the summer. I've done a post on the blog about how we keep our house clean with a large family, and I kind of go through all our systems, our chore charts, and you can take a look at that. I did a video and a blog post, so I'll link those below for you to look at. So here you can see our chore chart, and it's really beat up. So I still have Ty on here, and he hasn't been here this year. And we need to just bump everyone up. And William, who's down here, when I did this, he just wasn't able to do as much. I think he was probably like 4, so he was kind of like a helper. He had little jobs, but they were just simple. But he's now 6. He's able to do a little bit more. So everyone's kind of bumping up. We're probably going to move Holland into this position where she can just kind of help people and do little jobs. You can see it's really outdated because I've crossed things out and written new things in because things have changed. So it's definitely time to make a new one. I feel like this can be a lot like a Sudoku puzzle because I'm trying to make sure no one has the same job twice, but also that all of the jobs are being done each day. And you can see I have block written here. When it's block, it means it's usually either that person isn't here that day or it's that person's kitchen day. So that rotates like that. So when I made this, I started by just blocking off, first of all, everyone's dishes day. So I did that first. And then I have 5 areas so far. And so I just started at the top with Luke, and I did it in an order: living room, schoolroom, upstairs bath, front porch, entryway, powder room. And then whoever is kitchen next, which was Jenna, I did the same rotation: living room, schoolroom, upstairs bath, in that order. And then I found who was kitchen next, which was these two, and went in the same order. And so that's how I'm alternating who has what every day, and making sure also that all of the zones are being covered. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and print this out. And I have a brand new slip cover that I'm gonna put it in because my last slip cover was filthy, which is a good thing because it means that we actually used it. So this is our new chore chart. It's not fancy, but it's done. And I'll probably sit down with the kids and go over it and just kind of give them a little review of what needs to be done, what's expected in each room. Okay guys, I have a new chore chart for you. And the exciting news is that there's a new person on the chore chart. Guess what? You, Holland, you're on the chore chart. You get to have a chore every day. Are you excited? Yeah. Okay, so these are your chores, Holland. One day you get to help Afton. Another day you're going to sweep the hallway. Another day you're going to help me fill the water in the Berkey. Yes. Then you're going to help Julia. And those are some of your chores. Okay, so everyone else has chores on here, and Julia and Will, you've kind of bumped up a little bit. You're doing a little bit more because now you're older than when we made the last one. Okay, so Julia and Will, well, especially Julia, Wednesday's your kitchen day, so I'm helping you today. Today's your kitchen day. And William, you're gonna help in here. I'll tell you what I'll have you do. And then William, you're doing a couple more chores. Like one day I have you doing the entryway and powder room. No. And then another day you're doing the schoolroom. And then you're still sweeping the hallways. Okay, so I'm going to put this up, but you guys can look at it and see what you have each day, okay? I gave my kids a chance to just take some time and look at the chore chart to see what had changed, just so they would know what to expect. They weren't too excited about it. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought Holland would be really excited about her name finally being on there. Usually the youngest one is, and she didn't really say that much. but I think when it comes down to it, she'll like being a part of it again. One of the biggest chores that we have around here is the animals. Today is Jenna's animal day. So when my kids when it's their kitchen day, they don't have any other chores. But when it's their animal day, they do still have a chore. One of the first things that I have my kids do is to make their beds, get dressed, and brush their teeth. Those are the first 3 parts of their hygiene that they have to take care of. And when I think about teaching kids personal hygiene, teaching them chores, it's not hard to teach a child how to clean a sink, for example, or dry the dishes. It's not hard to teach them how to brush their teeth. What's really hard is developing the regular daily habit of taking care of your hygiene every day, of picking up your room, of keeping a home clean day after day. That habit is one that I think takes years to build. It takes a childhood. It's their whole childhood where they're learning how to take care of themselves, how to take care of their belongings, and I think this is a really hard skill, and it takes a lot of daily practice. We have quite the mess here this morning. Now, the person who did kitchen last night did a good job actually cleaning up. This counter was clean except for the dishes that were left out to dry. But just with a lot of people, a lot of things going on. My husband gave the boys haircuts last night, and that was late at night. Just different things got left out. We have a little bit more cleanup, so we're going to get started. We get started on our chores right after breakfast. Whether it's school time or we're off of school, this is how we always do it. And when you're establishing the new habit of chores, or for example, if you move to a new house and you're just kind of getting started and figuring things out, or when you just start with a younger child, this is a muscle that takes a lot of work. So when it's new, kids usually don't really like to do work. It's against their nature. They would rather just sit and play, and of course that's really important. But it's hard when it's new, but when it's regular and you do it day after day, it becomes expected and they get better at it. They know, they feel that pride and sense of accomplishment when it's finished, and they can turn around and see how much better things look. And even if some kids complain about doing chores, I think when it's a regular part of your day, it's a regular habit for the family, they do have an appreciation for the order and the calm home that you have when you're finished. So if your kids really give you pushback about doing chores, I would just say to keep being consistent, because it takes practice. It's hard to be the cheerleader, to be the one that is always trying to get everybody going, but once it's over and the house is clean, it's so rewarding for everyone. As a general rule, if you are feeling overworked, overwhelmed as a mom, if you're working late into the night, you're getting up early, making meals, cleaning up, you're always behind, then your kids can probably be doing more. We hesitate as moms to give them too much. We're afraid of giving them too much, but they can handle probably more than you think they can. Now, this is an exception for kids when you have all young kids. So there is a stage that I remember going through where all my kids were little, they outnumbered me, and they were undoing everything I was doing. So, and when they would do a chore, of course, they could try to do it, but it wasn't very good. And so I was outnumbered, I was working all the time, and they weren't much help. There is a season for that. But once kids start getting a little bit older, 8, 9, 10, they're capable of doing a lot more than we think they are. So if you as a mom are feeling overwhelmed, have your kids can do more. Have the motto that everyone's working together to make the family run. If one person feels overwhelmed, taken advantage of, and that's usually us as moms, then other people should be chipping in. It should be a joint effort. It shouldn't be all on one person. If you feel resentment over how much work you have to do all the time, I would say it would be a good time to check can your kids be doing more? They probably can. Now, sometimes there are jobs that we have, like cleaning out my Tupperware cabinet, or just like random drawers that I will pay my kids. Matching socks is another one. We'll just say, okay, who wants a job for pay? We'll pay you if you do this job. We always have volunteers. Our kids love making money for odd jobs. So that's another option too. If you just have projects like that that you can't get to because you have something else you want to do, paying them is also a great idea. Now, right after I printed out my new chore chart, I found a spelling mistake, and also I gave someone a chore that someone else had, so I already had to go in and change it. And if you look at it, it's really nothing fancy, but it's workable. And I think that's what's important. For me, sometimes I'm in the mood to take the time and just make something really nice and the kids really like it. Other times, I don't have time for that. The important thing is that we have a system, we have a plan, and it's put up, it's visible for everyone to see. If you have some ideas for chores, would you share them in the comments? I'd love to see them. Thanks for watching this week. I do one video a week on homeschooling encouragement for everyday moms.